What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to do our 2024 recap. We had a pretty decent season.
We had a busy year.
Yeah, we had a busy year. Pretty decent season. We started the year off pretty strong.
Yeah.
Win at US Street Nats, and then, we started off strong.
We definitely started off.
We didn't quite end there.
2 feet down, head going forward.
Well, we got our old trusty Steve back here. So, let's start off with our first race of the season, US Street Nationals.
Let's go, baby!
Go, baby! Got us a W on that one. Nate made some starting line calls. Decided to leave it on 2 for power. Bumped the bottom pressure down to 800, and it got us right down on through there.
Let's go, baby! Let's go, baby! On to the finals!
Tall had a big starting line advantage, and he takes it to the house. 444 beats a 451. James Tall uncorks one over there to get the win light. Tall.
Let's go! Woo! We just took the record!
Class record.
Let's go!
First win, 2024. Let's go.
Let's
baby.
do it!
Record.
Could be the same for Billy Smith. Either way, the number 5 and 10 qualifiers having to navigate through rounds that were held at night, rounds that were held during the daytime. You have to have a good warm weather tune-up, a good tight track tune-up, and these two guys did the best job of it. Tall takes a deep breath and pulls his car into gear and begins to roll forward as Billy Smith does the same thing. Smith is inches away from pre-stage. Tall's in the same spot. Tall's in. Smith's going to meet him there. And it is going to be Tall. Off he goes. 104 short time. He goes 4:43.0 at 156.66 miles an hour. JackStand Jimmy, a first-time winner of the Radial Outlaws scene, takes the victory. A 14:40 tire spinning run for Billy Smith in the final round. That is a huge, huge deal. James Tall takes the win in TRZ Motorsports Ultra Street.
All right, as you guys seen there, we started the season off strong. Not only did we win the race, we set the class record and set, which we still hold, the fastest small block nitrous Ultra Street car in the class.
Yep.
So, pretty big deal.
Yeah, that was probably one of the most fun events.
Yeah.
Fun weekends, period.
I mean, I've been racing US Street since I was 15, 17 years. That's the first time I won one.
had a competitive car. And some of you guys may notice in that video, or if you remember watching that video, we had figured some stuff out in that video. It was we call it a happy little accident where I went to do something with the ignition timing and actually did the opposite of what I was trying to do and figured out some stuff in the middle of the track, which you could see from the E3 pass to the end where we went at 53 and then all of a sudden we're going to 43. Well, we had figured some stuff out there.
Picked up a whole turn.
Yeah, which translated into our next race, which we did decent at. Didn't quite get the win, but that was lights out, South Georgia Motorsports Park, and we came up just this much too short. So roll that beautiful bean footage right now.
Separation, top of the racetrack. Win line given to Tull, 446, 155. James Tull, he was 6th out behind at the hit. David Pearson only goes a 453 at 155. So James Tull moving on to round number 3.
All right, guys, so we were shooting for a 46, and we went a 46 with a 1. Everything went perfect on that. Did my job, Car did it, Nate did his. Got us the win line, baby. Let's go. On to round 3. What was the tree? Motherfucker, man. Should have left that bitch at 3, god damn it! Yeah, it's all good, that's racing. Well, boys, we did everything that we had to do. We just came up a little bit too short at 4 cars. But that's racing. Hopefully Keith goes on and takes it. Pair in front of us spun. We both made the trip. We both made better tuning calls than the other pair. So we would have been able to go in with a better hand, but just didn't have enough to outrun him out the back. Everything went exactly how we wanted it to do. We just missed it by just a little bit.
All right, guys, so as you can see, we missed it by this much. You know, that was a tough race.
Yeah.
We knew we had a fast competitor going into that round. We didn't want to give it to him by knocking the tire off.
Yeah.
And we just missed it by just a little bit, which sucked because if we would have got through that round, we definitely would have won that race.
Yeah,
also.
we were on the pace to win, but that track, South Jersey Motorsports Park, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But it gets so good at night, the next day swings when the sun's out on the track, you can't run that same tune-up you run at night. So we took a stab at it, put a conservative tune-up in it, and we fell just a smidge too short. As you see, we're in a 54 to a 49.
Yeah.
You know, we just barely missed it.
Yeah, barely.
Barely.
But we ended off strong. We had two good races. We were leading the points chase at that time, which led us into Rockingham, where we struggled early.
So, and then, but in between South Georgia and Rockingham, there was a race we couldn't make that we missed, which was Alabama, which we kind of fell a few points shy of being the leader.
Yeah, so we were in the runnings with Billy Smith, who we raced in the final at US Street Nats in that beautiful blue, black Mustang, and he ended up winning Alabama. And then after that, we went to Rockingham, which, boy, did we have a struggle of a weekend.
But with that struggle, as you guys see here,
Oh, what? That's not good.
Yo, from Delaware, right?
From Delaware.
Andrew's a good guy, man.
I love him.
He's standing right down there on the right side of the car with his Ultra Street shirt on.
He's so much fun to talk to.
And you know what's a great thing is when you own a car and you enjoy watching others drive it, right? That is to me, that's one of the greatest things that you, because you know what it's like, right? If you build it, you want to get in it, don't you?
Absolutely.
So to sit there on the sidelines and watch, man, you got it going on. He's got a great driver too, JackStand, who really knows how to get the job done well. But this kid was #1 qualifier at one point, wasn't he, last night?
At one point.
He won in the 40s.
47 last night, and then somebody went 45. We just seen
right
Coulter
here
go 45. So Ronnie's looking for a 44.9. Early numbers say yes. Oh, big backfire. 44.9. Like I
Forward
said.
him there, gentlemen. Next up, Sean Pevler coming up. Ashland, Mississippi. He'll be in the right side of the racetrack. He's done the burnout. You got a good groove going.
All right, guys, so it's looking like we had a spring brake on the other side, and it's ate up the guide and the seal. So,
all right,
we'll
so Jimmy will get
we'll
the track to himself right here.
I don't know if you can see all the that's all seal material. There's some brass from the guide, and the inner spring on the exhaust side of cylinder 1 is broken. So we got a mess. Because that broke and probably caused it to suck stuff other places, and it looks like cylinder 8 may have also gotten burned up, so we're gonna have to pull it apart and see exactly how bad it is.
All right, guys, so far this side looks okay as far as pistons go. However, it was about to get the head gasket. I mean, it was close.
Thank you.
A couple cylinders were getting ready to go, so we might have to pull that side off and see if we got a piston on the other side. All right, guys, we got the car in the air. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna loosen the rockers. You want to pull plugs to see, or you just want to start taking it apart?
the way it was cranking, it's got something hurt somewhere.
Yeah. All right.
It wasn't cranking like the way the gas.
Yeah, my no-time truck, please.
It wouldn't have made the noise. It had a flat spot on cranking.
To bring them to the lanes
Right
now.
we're here.
Yeah.
Reinforce.
Worst case, it'll get some gas.
All the way up to the front.
All right, Dan.
As we are going to try to.
All right, guys. Finishing touches. Those last two bolts on the motor, at least. Got to put some collector bolts in down here, and the panels for the exhaust. Filling it up with oil. We'll fire it up.
Make sure everything's happy.
HHP. Josh from HHP had the oil.
Great success. We sometimes you don't have to be the fastest, you gotta win, and we proved that with that race. There's more in this class race and stuff, guys, that it is so competitive that there's a lot of people that worry about what other people are doing in it, and all you have to do is throw that person off that pace just a little bit, and it prevails in your favor. As you guys can see what we did in Rockingham.
Yeah, so let's get to that footage where we ended up actually overcoming adversity at Rockingham after we melted a piston or two.
Yeah, we did some stuff.
And then we did some more cool stuff after that.
Yeah.
The 2002 Catfish Camaro out of Newark, Delaware, my hometown. JackStand Jimmy behind the wheel. So James Towle, the nitrous car, BES power on board. Holly EFI, I do believe. I'll have to confirm that, but I'm pretty sure. Andrew Gonzo back there watching the car. Looks good down low. Clicks it off early, saving the parts. Very smart, very smart. He'll come back to battle in the second round.
Got the run he wanted to run. 02 on the reaction time. 024, 107, 60 foot. 294 to the split about when he started shutting it down.
.470 racer, 470 racer Todd Garnett, please come to the tower for your payout. 470 racer Todd Garnett, come to the tower for your payout, please.
That's right. Todd Garnett, come to the tower. Second floor, payout for your 470 category. Here we go in the right side now with James Towle. JackStand Jimmy, sitting there in that Chevrolet Camaro, based out of Delaware, housed out in Florida. Left lane's going to be Pevler, Ashland, Mississippi, rolling up to the left lane, the Ford Mustang. Uh-oh. Pevler got timed out, man. How about that? Here we go down there, James Tall, JackStand Jimmy, 449.
Let's fucking go, boys! Woo! Me and you, baby!
Small block NOS to the front. Going to be an all small block NOS final.
Fuck yeah!
Small block NOS needs help! So it's going to be me and Ronnie Rhodes. You guys know his dad, Ron Rhodes. He's been on the YouTubes with us before. His dad actually is the one who built this car. And it's going to be me and him in the finals. Let's go, boys. We needed that. Hard work pays off.
And that shall bring the young Ronnie Rhodes into the pro. Oh, and look at this battle. Man, Ronnie Rhodes, left lane. He's just got back in the swing of things, getting into the driver's seat. And James Tall. That Ronnie, I'm telling you, the kid is aggressive. He just gets out there, does the burnout, gets ready to go drag racing, getting his purge down right there with the small block nitrous car. His father down there behind it, Ron Rhodes Sr. I mean, a dynasty of drag racers right here. From Ron Rhodes Sr.'s dad, who used to race with him. Ron raced. Young Ronnie races. And they do a damn good job. You got James Tall over there at Newark, Delaware, to go with. They're both out of Delaware. Townsend, Delaware will be the Rhodes family. And Ronnie looking to get one here. There's Danny Zuko. JackStand Jimmy getting the win. Little smoke wisp down there. And Ronnie Rhodes, man, that thing just didn't want any part of the track there in that left lane. Don't know if they tuned it up or what, but he's still pulling.
Woo!
What's that say? What's that say?
Champion, son.
That was the first one I confirmed anything else.
There she hit him up.
Oh, look at that.
Looking all snazzy.
Driving in this 9 hours home.
Hey, they didn't even tell me you were down here. Nobody cares.
Right here. Our next winner in Battle of the Thrones, JackStand Jimmy in Ultra. Look at you. You got a hat.
Got
ready?
enough trophies for the year.
For the year. So you're just done?
No.
You're done? You're going on vacation?
We're 2 out of 3 for the year. So
Where's he at in the points?
2 out of 3.
she'll put me back in first.
Folks, look at that. 2 out of 3.
RBW to the lane, please. RBW finalists to the lane.
All right, guys. So you saw the sparklers. Probably another one of our coolest wins there. I mean,
Yeah,
out of all the thrones, dude. You want a crown. You want a throne.
A crown, a throne, a warhammer, a jacket.
I forgot about the hammer.
A big check.
Yeah.
And It was a struggle. We only made one out of the 4 qualifiers.
Yeah, I think we went down the track
one time to get on the ladder, and then we had the burn up. Yeah. So we had 1.5 stabs at the racetrack. Everyone else made the full 4 qualifiers.
Yeah. It seems about every time we put them big jets in, we burn something up.
Yeah, they definitely hard on parts.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, as you guys see at Rockingham, it just paid off to stay there. You know, like a lot of people at that time would pack it up and go home. Yeah. And just, you know what?
You can't do that.
This ain't my weekend.
As a nitrous racer, you're not packing it up and going home and you're burning it up. You're trying to fix it.
Yeah, you got to stick with it. And I mean, it just, we made a lot of right calls, and I just did what I could do as a driver, and just could, you know, I try to get everyone's head.
I tuned towards the track, and that's another thing that doesn't really get talked about. Being that we had went fast the first 2 races before that, people knew what we could do.
Yes.
So they knew they couldn't sleep on us and had to go fast.
That's
another part of being kind of a front runner. What we were doing is like,
in class, people fear you a little bit.
We got to go fast. We know he can go fast. We got to go fast. And they'll either, sometimes knock our off.
They worry a little bit more about you.
We had one lucky run there. Actually, we got 2 lucky runs there. We broke opponent by, so we were able to just make a half track rip, make sure the engine was good, and Sean Pevlar goofing there, coming up to the tree. I mean, if he had made that run and went a 40-something, we got into the wheelie control, and we didn't quite go as fast as we could have gone that round. Yeah. So we get a little bit lucky, but I mean that's part of it, dude.
And ended off that race tearing it up again, as you guys can see. But going to the finals with the other, next fastest small block nitrous car in the finals, Ronnie Rhodes, we were paired up, and I knew that his car was going A to B if it left the starting line. I didn't leave anything there. I went 007 next to him and said, you know what? I'm keeping this thing floored till I see the finish line. And about same spot, quarter foot in, and just
I'm standing there on the headsets just watching this glorious fireworks explosion.
He ended up breaking his rear end and didn't make the trip, but it was one of those things where I wasn't giving up nothing. I was there to win, and that's what we did.
That is what we did.
Yeah, but shortly after that is when pulled the motor out.
Yeah, so
sent it back.
Got it back, sent it off to Bischoff to get rebuilt, and had a little break. So we decided we'd take out Lieutenant Dan.
Lieutenant Dan, old faithful. Everyone knows the car. It's a car I've had for a very long time. Yeah, I mean, it used to be a street car. I used to drive around with a turbo 4-cylinder. That's how we met. He had a Trans Am.
Yep, pulled him next to him at a stoplight, gapped him real quick, and then
it's funny about that is we went to the same place afterwards. Yeah. Talked some shit in the parking lot, and then what happened when you left?
Oh, I got pulled over.
You sure did.
I forgot about that. I did get pulled over.
So I mean, since then, I mean, I've had the car forever. It's been through the courses of being what it was when we first. It was your LS1 out of your Trans Am that started the LS Venture at the 240. But it's crazy because we never anticipated it to do what it did.
Oh yeah, no. When that thing first came out, I mean, it was a stock bottom end LS1. Had your hand ported 317 heads on it with cracked exhaust ports.
Yeah, that are epoxy up.
A plate on it, and the thing goes out and goes like 550s, second rip, and we're like, whoa. I think I had talked you into putting the power glide in it because you had a 350.
I had a turbo 350 because I wasn't building a street car. I was like, I got this 350, a street car, 3 years, you know. Yeah, it's come a long way.
Yeah, since then it's come a long way. But this outing, we didn't do any better than Rockingham with this one.
No, so
roll that footage, dude. Noises, sparklers
on a brand new motor.
So if you didn't catch it in those clips, go back and rewatch it and watch the dash.
On that final run.
What we figured out was the battery charger wasn't actually charging the battery, and the car had no voltage going down. Yeah. So it RIP'd itself.
Which is crazy because it started. The car started and ran fine. On no voltage, which is unheard of. Usually like 10 volts. Yeah.
It should have been doing all kinds of weird stuff, and it wasn't until you left.
Got on the brake fine, did everything fine until it got to about 3.8 seconds in.
I ain't doing this no more.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Which led to
the
great thrash for LS Fest.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so you were thrashing.
What motor did you put in? Did you put the big motor in?
Yeah, for LS Fest. You were thrashing
I was thrashing to get
Mississippi Queen done. And I was thrashing to get a motor together to put it in the car for LS Fest.
Yep.
And that's when I broke out the big motor again.
Yep.
And it was an easier, cheaper fix to put the big motor back in the car. And at the same time, I did EGTs to get more data for you, and a CDI 600 to give us more, I guess you could say, ignition tunability out of the car.
Take some
because at first,
the ECU itself.
Yeah, because at first we thought that it wasn't
we
a
didn't
voltage
know.
issue.
Yeah, we didn't know.
We didn't know until I pulled along with my laptop and I said, wait a second.
Yeah.
Battery voltage, not good. So,
and I didn't even realize the dash thing until I was watching these clips to make this video.
Yeah.
And I saw it go out, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
it was dead.
Was not good. But that led to LS Fest.
Yeah, which we struggled to get down that track.
Struggled.
Yeah.
And then
that big motor makes a lot of early torque. It is a spicy unit. But the one pass we did get it to go down. I'll show you guys. It RIP'd the ring gear.
Yes.
So let's watch that.
Well, something just broke. Don't know what.
Yeah, that wasn't good, bud.
No, that was not. I was very, very fired up at that moment. A weekend, I mean, it's a long haul to get to
it's like 14 hours.
Yeah. And after thrashing for the week before to get there, 14 hours there, struggling all weekend, finally go to let go of the button, it goes to make a rip, boom, ring and pinion gone. So I got no quit. So I found all the parts I needed, overpaid for every piece of it.
Yep.
And while putting it together at the trailer, I found out it wasn't just the ring and pinion that broke. It actually tried to roll an axle tube and broke the braces off the snout of the 8.8, rolled the driver's side tube, which would cause to break the ring and pinion.
Yep.
I did get it back together, but missed the call for first round, was busy doing other things, which, I mean, I would have ran it anyways, but it would have probably caused more damage than good. But luckily, Ashton and the boys over at Quick Performance were on property and said, you know what, let me come measure that thing up for a 9-inch. And now, we got a bulletproof 9-inch underneath it, thanks to the guys at Quick Performance.
Now, I was on the line when you did that, and I thought it just lost crank signal. I didn't know the rear end had broke.
Oh, yeah.
And we were about to race Mississippi Queen, so I had to hurry up, jump in that thing, get strapped in. I had no idea what happened. I couldn't even help you get off the track.
No.
But that was my thrash, was getting Mississippi Queen swapped over to all-wheel drive and getting it to LS Fest, which is for some reason something I like to do every year, is thrash for LS Fest.
You've done it with the white truck.
I did it, Moonshine 1.0, Moonshine 2.0.
Twice.
Yeah.
And then now
And then
Mississippi
that one,
Queen. That's the second time you had Mississippi Queen LS Fest, because the first time it made an appearance at a burnout. So luckily there was no thrash.
That's right. No, we did thrash to get Mississippi Queen done for Bristol, which was the weekend before. That was, okay, forgot about that.
You might not have a running race car beside Mississippi Queen right now, but come LS Fest
Well, you might have
2025, you might have something, because that's when you like to work, apparently.
Yeah, we did get it done. However, that thing was, first pass was probably the slowest thing I had ever done in a race truck.
Yeah.
I just left the line and utter disbelief. Roll that footage and show these people.
This thing is a fucking turd.
Alright, so.
It's almost embarrassing.
It was. The look I had, I watched the video last night, I'm laughing at myself because I let go and I'm looking down like something's wrong. I'm just like.
Waiting. And then you almost always short shift when you're driving something.
I waited, but I was like, dude, this thing's hurt or something, and we'll just run it out and screw it. And 880s. I mean, the converter was just so
in
wrong.
the 8th mile.
Yeah, we had initially done the converter to have a bunch of wheel speed for burnout, so it was super, super tight, and it was just unhappy. But we ended up finishing the weekend off strong. We went 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And we'll show you guys that footage of what we ended up going at the end of the weekend.
Damn. Went faster, but we're out.
Alright, so a 619, picking it up from an 880. Not bad, considering first time out, all-wheel drive.
I mean, just going 3 rounds first time out and something that's new is really good.
Yeah, I was super happy with it. We haven't had it back to the track, but it's lighter now. It's got a looser converter. It's got more nitrous. So the next race, I think, after that was the all-wheel drive shootout. So I didn't have much testing. We were trying to get some stuff done and make it a little lighter in between, but we didn't end up getting it done, so I had to put the doors back on.
You did end up with the...
We ended up a little bit lighter. We had the
stuff,
Turkey in it and a little bit of harness. But with the more nitrous and the looser converter, man, what a difference in that thing.
Woke that thing up.
Flawlessly the first run. Yeah. Which we'll show you guys right now.
Wait. He didn't jump, did he? Shoo! I knew when that.
Well, I said, you want to be first or second? He goes, I want to be first. So I said, all right. I thought he was foot braking it. He didn't do nothing.
Shoo! That's unfortunate.
All right, guys, we got a first round W. Think fucking ran like a champ.
All right, solid pass for
solid.
Never running no prep before. I guessed at the tune-up. It worked really well.
Did great, and it looked good.
Yeah, it worked good. I don't know how fast we went. I didn't have a drag unit, but I whiffed on the next pass and ended up not getting it fully engaged in forward drive, and we knocked the tire off. So, unfortunately, we were out.
Which goes to show you in that clip you just seen that two-wheel drive versus all-wheel drive on no prep is big difference.
Yeah, didn't go anywhere. I thought it was broken. It spun the tire so hard, I'm like, huh.
You did a second burnout.
Nope, it's broken.
All right, so after that, we got the motor back.
Yep, for this rig.
For the old trusty Steed.
Which, there was another race at Alabama that we missed.
Because they canceled it.
We were going to miss it anyway.
Yeah.
But they did
Worked out in our favor.
It did. You had an event, we didn't have enough time to get the motor in this, get it tested, and get to the event.
Yeah, so.
Luckily, they canceled it. So, South Georgia Motorsports, here we come. Still in the point standings. I think we were sitting second. However, everybody would have had to drop a race. We would have been number one. But there was also something happening during that time.
Yes.
Big hurricane.
Hurricane. Coming right to us.
Yeah. So we had to leave early and get up there.
Yep.
And yeah, that was not.
It was a
weekend.
Long week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not only was it a long week because we came there early to get away from the storm, because for me, my biggest fear was I was going racing. There's a hurricane. I'm not going to sit home without power. I'm going to go racing. My biggest thing was getting to the track. I left early to be able to beat the storm up, so I was there.
Yeah, same.
I didn't want to wait the storm out here and then go up to the race after and potentially not be able to make it there. Yeah. Being that we were first, second in points, it was a big deal to show up because you got to buy a Tech RB on property to even start getting points for that race.
Not only that, it was a double points race.
Yeah.
On top of Alabama, so it was 3 races basically in one.
Yeah.
And we made one critical mistake.
One big mistake.
We didn't test.
Yes. And partially, it's everything we do that's an error is our fault. We take blame for everything. But where the mistake happened was there was the ability to test for $300 a day where you might get 3 passes for the 2 days before the race started. We were under the impression off of the format that we were getting a first round bye and qualifying for the makeup points race. So we were using that as our free test pass plus our round 1 win to get the points to start they were doing like a makeup points race in qualifying. So to start qualifying would have been a first round bye, points, our test pass. And what was it, 40 minutes before?
I don't remember exactly how it laid out, but yeah,
testing was done for the day. There was no ability to test anymore, and then they hit us with the guys. The 14 cars on the ladder are not here. There's only 8 of you. We're changing it to an 8-car race. Yep. So we went into first round having to race an opponent for points to make up the Alabama race they canceled. In which doing so, we went in blind. No test passes, no nothing. Just had a guess at the tune-up at what we saw on the track, and that didn't work.
Yeah, not only did they kind of take our free run away, we didn't test. The track has come under new ownership since our last outing there.
Yeah.
And the track is different. It's not the same.
Yeah. Our tune-ups that we had, gone.
Did not work. That track that weekend was super tricky for us because we could not hit it early.
Yeah.
So we went in with a tune-up that we knew worked in the heat of the day out there.
Yeah.
And it wasn't heat of the day, and it didn't even move.
Yeah. So you all could see here, it was not good. We were fired up.
So, knocked tire off, didn't even move.
No bueno.
Real
and
kick in
right there, that just
ruined the weekend.
Took the ability for us to gain point spread where we're at. So now from each round of qualifying on, we're losing points in the championship, falling from that first-second tie we had, falling down and down and down and down and down. And not only that, now we're qualifying for the double points race to where we are still struggling on a tricky track, trying to just gather the car back up to be competitive, to try to come on top for the double points to stay ahead.
Not only that, struggling to get it to leave, like hit it hard off the line, which small block nitrous we got.
You have to. We have to 60-foot.
The thing would not run.
No.
Like, would not run. So something was off. We just couldn't figure it out. But the thing, even trying to leave soft, it would not run the numbers that we normally would run doing so.
Yeah, we almost started over. Like after it spun first round, second round qualifying, we like started over with the car and said, here's our 58 tune-up, and it only went a 61.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, why is this doing this? And
so, end of the event, we ended up having to race the number 1 qualifier for the double points race because we qualified 16th, barely even qualified in the field. And we'll let you guys see that clip. Obviously, didn't get the win. We tried. No. What we had done before that was throw some 48 jets in that thing and just take a Hail Mary swing at it. And the tune-up that I had in that thing, it should have knocked the tires completely off, and it didn't. It went down the track, but it was slow.
Did not even pick up from the 46 jet slow tune-up.
Yeah, it picked a little bit of power up out the back, but early it was dog slow. It did not do at all what it was supposed to do. That tune-up before would have went a 443, 444, and it didn't even go.
It was kind of, we were up here before going to that race. And after that race, it kind of sucked all the wind out of the sails and leveled us back out to realizing that at any given moment, what you thought you had could be just taken away in racing. And as you know, I did what I could as a driver. I knew I had a turbo car. I knew that, you know, he's faster and going down, going 444s in the heat of the day, 160 mile an hour. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make him earn it. I'm going to sit here and wait for him to go in. I'm just going to run my race and see if I can't get him. Sometimes a lot of people, you know, when you hang them out on the tree like that, they miss the tree, either let go on nothing or sit there and go 200 on the tree. Knowing I was slow, I had to do something, and it was a race for about 10 foot, and then that was it.
Yeah, he drove around you. I mean, that car's just fast.
It is. It is a very impressive combo.
Yeah, it is. For what it is, I mean, it's a Gen 3 Hemi. I'm pretty sure it's a stock block. I mean, that thing just runs hard.
Yeah. Turbos, man. That's when turbos started taking over. Right then and there.
Yeah. From there, though, we had to get back to Old Faithful.
Old Trusty. You guys know it, Lieutenant Dan. Here we are back at our home track, Bradenton Motorsports Park, for one of my favorite events hosted by Troy and Innovative Racecraft. Florida No Time, Out for Blood, happens every year in October. It was a good time.
It was a good time. You started off a little rough. We had a little wheelie to work through, and you had a dead cylinder.
I was there, which there isn't footage of because you were busy, but I was there by myself getting some laps in on the car because now it's got a 9-inch first time out with it, or second time out with it. We tested it once before then.
We didn't really get to test it at FL2K because you broke off a brake caliper.
Oh, yeah. Made one pass. So I was running it Friday night, just trying to get laps on the car, and it was going good. He sent me a tune-up, said it might wheelie, and it sure enough wheelied.
I was there Thursday. It was Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
Yeah, but it wouldn't run. And I
said, Thursday it wouldn't run. Figured out that it was, that's what it was. Had a burned up sparkle wire, couldn't find. Finally found it, put a coil on it.
Which we would have never found if you didn't put EGTs on it.
Yeah. Crazy, right? And it wheelied.
It did wheelie. I said it would wheelie.
Yeah, he said
so we had to work that out. So Saturday, going into Saturday, which you guys see this pass here.
ripper, Lieutenant Dan. That thing was ripping. Definitely a PB. That thing was right. Went out there to a little power wheelie. Shoo! Let's get it, boys. Gotta do it a few more times. That's it.
We got that solved. It was going good.
Strong.
I just started picking a little bit after that, just a little bit. And we had a front running car. We had more mile an hour in that car than I think we've ever had.
Yeah, it was running hard.
We just had one more unfortunate incident.
Yeah. So that class we run with that car in those no time shootouts. It's a street style deal. It fits the car perfectly, or I should say the car fits it perfectly. But we are definitely the highest power car probably in that class.
The guy that won, he's been pretty fast. So.
He's been fast, but he was not fast
that night. No, he was.
So the car's feared in that class by a lot of people, and everyone was shook to run it. So we had the winning car again, and going into the semifinals down at 4 cars. Had our boy Kevin Smith. I was ready to finally give him the beans in my own car. Every time I race him, I'm in the boss's car. I was finally ready to give him the beans in my own car. Go to fire it up in the staging lanes, and there's just fuel just everywhere. Had some casting brake on the intake manifold, where the bracket is that holds the fuel rail down, and it pushed out some O-rings on the injectors. By the time I got out of the car, I was gonna just put it back on and ratchet strap it down to make the run, but the O-ring was cut, not just blown out. So ended up right down there.
What the hell? Well, we were up here to race Kevin for the semis, and
Definitely had the winning car to beat.
Yeah.
Go to start it, lost fuel pump from. I'll just get fuel pump, fuel pressure back. The second I got pressure back, I mean, you can feel the methanol in the car still. Spraying it. Shut it off, get out, and the welds that hold this bracket are broken.
Oh, that's what happened. Yeah. Well, at least it happened here and not going down the track.
Yeah. No, they say, bud. That's racing.
Yeah. All right, I guess we'll push it back.
Yeah.
All right.
So, coming off that roll of unfortunate events with Lieutenant Dan.
We hopped right back into our struggle bus and drove it right back to Bradenton Motorsports Park for Snowbird Nationals.
With old Trusty. Which was another
long week. So, we were a little bit behind fixing this thing. He was busy, I was busy after Orlando, where we, in fact, knocked 2 pistons out of this thing.
Yeah.
So
2 clean out of it.
Yeah.
Replaced
one. They weren't that bad, but enough to make it issues.
But the race got rained out anyway, so as you guys see, it's not even in here because of the fact that there was nothing that happened besides we tore some more shit up.
Yeah. Which you can go back and watch that video if you want to, but we figured we'd just leave that one out. Yeah. Anyways, so we had a whole week of fixing this thing, chasing it, finding out what piston it is, and then we had a lifter get messed up and trying to get it out of the motor. It was stuck in the bore. Then trying to locate the lifter, and then we finally did get it back together. Missed first round of qualifying.
Rolled in the gate Friday for Q2. Dumped the car out the trailer, prepped it, pushed it through tech, pushed it up to the starting line, and
I think we went down, didn't we?
We went down, but it was slower than we were
slow.
wanting because of the bottle pressure.
Still on a 48 jets, we had low bottle pressure. So we were working off that. Every time we put 48 jets in this thing, it just does not want to leave the starting line like it did before.
It's crazy. You'd think more power, faster.
Yeah.
No, this thing does not.
Anything else we had with nitrous bigger jet, boom, more power.
Yeah.
This thing, not happy about it.
Yeah.
So we struggled trying to get the thing to leave. It started wheeling, and when we did get it to go down, and it's just
do a big wheelie.
It did a big wheelie in our final round of qualifying. The air was amazing. Ultra Street had finally dipped into the 30s at ET. I think a 437.4 maybe was the fastest run. 2 turbo cars out of the KBX camp, super fast cars. And we're like, hey, we have the air. The numbers are looking all right. Let's try to go fast. So I tried to hit it even harder early to kind of get it over the wheelie, and it drove right out into a giant wheelie.
It got you said you try to hit it hard to get it over the wheelie.
Yeah.
All we got over there, bud, was the wheelie control because
yeah.
it was going up.
So impressive run. I mean, you did a giant wheelie. You drove the hell out of it. It was still in a 52. You pedaled it 3 times, and it was in the wheelie control for almost 2 seconds, and it's still in a 52. So it was making some power.
It was going to run a high 40.
It was going to go
mid-high.
If that would have stayed down, I would have went a low 40 all day. However, when you're in the wheelie control that long, you're pulling a bunch of ignition time. It creates a lot of heat. So
almost all of it.
I was a little worried when I went down there, and we ended up getting a head gasket.
Yeah. So we always do after each run, when we get back to the trailer and pull the log, we always do like a wellness check, run the car in the starter, just make sure everything sounds healthy. Yeah. So we were packed up, about ready to leave for the night, and said, let me see what it sounds like. Grab that starter, and it was chirping. Which, when you like crossfire, or like barely get a head gasket, you'll hear like a chirping noise out the exhaust pipe when you crank it on the starter, and that's what we had.
Let's just show them the clip.
Yeah, let's see the clip here.
Guys, we were about to leave for the night, and we decided we rolled over on the starter, make sure everything was happy before we took off. Looks like we got us a head gasket. It's chirping, so we're gonna roll it over to the house and rip it apart, put a gasket in it, and bring it back. So get it ready. We're actually gonna go eat first, and then we'll come back, grab the car, take it back, get to work. All right, guys. Well, we pushed the Camaro back to James's house. My man wants to work on it, so that's what he's gonna do.
I mean, what am I do? Go to bed?
I mean, I might do that. We're a little tired.
I mean, what's sleep gonna give me? Ain't gonna give me a round 1 win.
That's true.
You know? So, could probably just get away with torquing it or running it chirping. It's not uncommon to have a chirping gasket on a nitrous motor.
Yeah, I don't think we would make it much more than first round in this air.
But with it chirping and having all night and a fresh gasket sitting here, might as well just.
We decked the other head. I'm sure this one's also needing decked, but
yeah, it's all right.
We'll see when you get it apart.
You know what they say? That's racing.
Yep, that's what you say.
All right, so you hear the chirp.
Yeah.
So we ended up stealing somebody's smart car, middle of the night.
My boy Red, I said, bud, my golf car can't do but about 16 mile an hour, no car. I don't feel like pushing this thing home. Can I borrow your Spark? And Nate's like, dude, let's just not. I said, listen, bud,
it wasn't a points race, so
you push me home, you can go to bed. I'll get it fixed. And that's what we did. You pushed me home.
I helped you for a couple hours, get everything apart.
Yeah.
And then I went and took a snooze.
Yep. And then next morning,
ready to go.
Push it right back to the racetrack, ready to go.
So we were running E1. We had to tune up to go down. We put some weight on the nose. We limited the front end a little bit.
Yeah.
It stayed down, went about 60 feet, and chucked the pistons right back out of it again.
Again. For the
third time
since we had the motor back, which is
since Rockingham.
Unfortunate, because the last thing you want to be doing is tearing up a new bullet, and we did it 3 times.
Yeah.
Trying to race 4 times, 3 times, 8s and pistons.
Super conservative on the tune-up too.
Yeah.
And clearly not conservative enough.
Yeah, but also going into that race, there was some things that had happened. I know I dropped the Easter egg in that video. I'm sure some of you guys picked up on it, some of you not, but we're eating fried bologna instead of steaks at the racetrack, and it was kind of for a reason.
Yeah.
And
we'll just leave them hanging for a little bit. We'll be talking about the last thing.
That's what we're going to end this with. But if you guys know, get ready because the announcement's coming.
Yeah, we'll end that off there. We'll give that one at the end.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about highlight of the year, final thing of the year, final race of the year, my favorite race, the Christmas tree race, and what you got to drive.
Probably one of the best races of the year. And not only that, days before, I get a phone call from my buddy David, IDS, and he's real tight with some guys up by him. Tin Soldiers race cars. Hits me up and says, "Hey man, boys are looking for someone to shake down Charlie Brown."
One of my favorite cars, and I love
I
love the Tin Soldier guys.
Yeah,
so.
they're great dudes. So I'm like, dude, don't even hesitate to give my number. You know, I am down. So they get a hold of me. They're like, "Hey, Jason normally drives a car. He's in Disney World. Can't leave till Friday, but we want to come down Thursday, shake the car down to get it ready for the Christmas tree race because we don't run the car in quarter mile ever." So they put a 300 rear gear in it, and they wanted to just make sure everything was good. Their motor was fresh.
Yep.
They just changed some stuff on the car. They just wanted to make sure, being that they normally no prep it, they wanted to make sure on the prep side everything was going to go.
Yeah, no
kosher.
bugs. Work out any bugs it had.
I said, dude, don't even got to twist my arm. Don't even look at my arm because I'm going to get in that thing. I'm going to drive it. And so we did, and it was a blast. It was probably the smoothest, straightest driving car I drove all year.
That's what you get when a chassis shop.
Yeah, when it's a chassis shop.
Race
Yeah.
car.
But
drop
it's
that clip. Show these people the candles. All right. Well,
that was a good time for sure. Them guys, Tin Soldiers. You know, I've told them time and time again. I was honored to be, thought of as someone to even drive their hot rod. And we actually spoke after that, and there's gonna be times this year where they might strap me in for some races.
We need big blocks and lockups.
That right there assured me that it doesn't matter what kind of power header's on the big block, it's gonna go fast. Yeah.
Which it all worked out because they ended up winning the Christmas tree race. And getting them a big W going at 665.
Fastest car on property for the Christmas tree race this year and bags the win. Not only that, probably the coolest they could watch go down the track.
Yeah,
4-door G-body with candles pointing at the track like this.
That's it. Quoting Jason, there's no sexier way to go down a racetrack than a nitrous car.
That's facts.
That's facts. Big facts.
Bullhorns.
Except when this
it don't matter.
Beautiful car throws the pistons out of it.
It still looks cool.
It does look cool.
Ain't no turbo
Well,
cars.
it kind of looks cool, but then you're...
The only time you get on a turbo car is when you're turbo cars.
Yeah, you just watch it and go, it's going to be a late night.
Yeah.
Well,
but that concludes our racing.
Yeah.
Of this year.
I guess you can tell the people.
All right, guys. So, as you know, we were giving the opportunity to not only drive, tune, house, race this car for a buddy of ours that we met 3 years ago.
Yeah, something like that.
3-4 years ago, Andrew Gonzo. He's had the car, bought it brand new in 2002. Ron Road's the only chassis shop to ever touch it to get it to where it's at now. So it's got 11,000 original miles.
Yeah. Super nice car.
Super nice car.
But unfortunately, it's coming to an end.
It is.
So,
So, as you guys know, all good things come to an end. He hit me up on the week of Snowbirds and was like, "Hey man, bad news. I gotta sell the car." I was like, "Man, that sucks. What am I gonna race in 2025?
I'm like, who's gonna pay for racing in 2025?
So I bought it. And that's how we're gonna start 2025. It was one of those kind of decisions where I was like, you know what? We come so far with it.
Yeah.
We are still going into this year as the fastest small block nitrous car in Ultra Street.
Yeah.
Ultra Street, I have a feeling, is about to make a change as a whole with the rules because of how fast the turbo cars are.
We'll see.
I think we're going to get something that might help us. Hopefully weight, not power, because we can't run any more power. But yeah, that's the exciting news.
I'm still trying to figure out who's going to pay for racing in 2025.
Well, you know, I've always made it work, so I'm going to try to make it work.
It's funny because I had been talking to Gonzo about trying to put together a turbo motor for this, and we had gone back and forth a few times.
Yeah.
And then when he told me that, I'm like, now who's going to pay for the turbo motor?
Yeah, it's just, it'll just postpone things one season.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to try to get through this season as a nitrous car and plan for potentially...
we may not try to chase the points just because it is really expensive to do.
Which we might even change directions with the... Depending on what Ultra Street does in the next two races, we're not done.
Yeah, we're not married to the class. That's just what we run.
That's what we ran.
He liked to run, and
that's what the car was. But, you know, we might be able to swing a different direction with it for now to be able to still race while, you know, gathering up the funds that were spent on it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's a kind of a big deal. I mean, it's a lot of car.
Yeah.
It was a lot of money. And
there's a lot for him to let it go too.
It is, which you'll see him in videos racing throughout the year. We still talk almost every day. Like, he's still attached to the car. Like, it's not like I bought it and he's gone. You know, he's still attached to it. He's going to be with us racing. He's going to be hanging out when he can and stuff like that. Things happened, and he just figured he'd rather give us the opportunity to end up continuing with what we started 3 years ago with him. And that's how we're ending the year.
You know what's funny is, I forget what year it was, we were doing something, and he wanted to race Yellow Bullet, and he let Martin Connell, who's an awesome driver, he let him drive the car. We're both down here like, bro, it feels like we just lent our girlfriend out.
It was. I usually like.
That's not even our car, but
it was. I was like, man, what if it never? Because Yellow Bullet's his home track.
Yeah, I always wanted to race it.
Never comes
it just
back?
seems to be there's always something right there that we haven't been able to make it, but maybe we can try to make a trip.
It's still going to be. That's still a bucket list race for me.
We've raced the track. We just haven't raced the event.
When that happened, I was like, man, what if the car never comes back?
Yeah.
Well, now it's here to stay. So, also with that though, racing's expensive. If you guys have a business that needs to offload some cash, I got this beautiful piece of race car. I can put whatever you want on there. But other than that, guys, we wouldn't be where we're at if it wasn't for your guys' support.
Yeah, for sure.
This is, this is what he does. I'm just here. I use you to go racing.
And I use you to make YouTube videos.
So it's like one of those things, we're there for each other, but without you guys.
Yeah. Without everybody watching and supporting, whether you love us or hate us, you're still here, you're still watching. I appreciate you.
All I got to say is we raced hard in 2024. In 2025, we're going to come out racing harder. You guys like the banter, you guys like the shit talk, you like the unfiltered version of things, and that's coming 2025.
Hopefully 2025, I'll have one of my race cars done.
Something.
Other than the all-wheel drive truck, which we still got a bunch of stuff we got to do with that and get it out and race.
Did you ever tell them what we're going to do to that thing?
No,
I'm still waiting on it.
Yeah, we'll see. I was watching these videos back, and that was actually one thing I said I would never do. So we're gonna pause. I really want to get the white truck done this year, guys. That's gonna be my plan. Is LS Fest Crunch 2025. Bring back the white OG Silverado.
The all work truck.
That is my game plan for this
Started
year.
it all.
Yeah, we got to get that thing done, and then move on to Moonshine, which this year we ended up selling the chassis for that, which I kind of regret now. But it'll come back bigger, better, and we'll go from there. We want to grow the channel this year and try to do some stuff. We got some stuff in the works, but. Yeah, more racing from this car. We got Lieutenant Dan. We still got to get that thing out.
Yeah, we're gonna tell. I was talking about that.
Old Dusty Krusty back here.
Yeah.
Still.
Well, y'all know. You guys knew the plan for that was twin turbo big block, our nitrous big block chassis underneath it. With this being purchased, that is still going to be backburnered. Unfortunately, I've been thinking about putting in. I have a new block for the 5.3 burned up in.
Yeah.
I was thinking about putting the 5.3 and that thing in there with the radiator, just driving the mug on the street.
Yeah.
The bench seat.
You know what we could do with that thing since it likes the wheelie?
Wheelie contest?
No.
Oh, no prep. Yeah.
Put a long strut on that thing and maybe try it.
Yeah, we've talked about
front
it.
side no prep stuff with a slick. It might work.
We've tried it. I mean,
we haven't tried it.
We'll try it, but we've talked about it.
We've talked about
it. But 2025 is going to be big. As you guys know, with time comes growth. With growth comes more exciting things, and that's what we're here to do.
That's it, dude.
That's it.
All right, bud. It was fun this year.
Until next
Let's
year,
get it next year. See y'all in 2025. I appreciate you guys watching. As always, stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next episode.